Good evening, friends. In my first video, I explained we human beings live at two dimensions. One is physical dimension and another is psychological dimension. Today I am going to talk about the psychological dimension which operates through consciousness. I am conscious, you are conscious, but we do not understand consciousness. When we are not conscious, what we are, in deep sleep, when level of consciousness is very low, the world disappears. We are not aware of even our name, fame, money, relations, ego, our personality. It is only when we wake up and level of consciousness goes up, then it is the memories in the brain cell which give continuity to our psychological positions and life continues. So after all, what this consciousness is, from where it is coming and where it is going. Man has been searching the answer for last 5,000 years. Pluto called it psyche. Upanishad says it Atman. Buddhist called it self. Later it was translated as soul, and now our science call it consciousness. Consciousness is the biggest mystery for science. Today I will try to simplify this mysterious consciousness for our understanding. Basically, consciousness is a field like quantum field. So first we have to understand the quantum field. After the famous double slit experiment, which has been repeated thousands times across the world, the understanding of the nature of reality of the universe has completely changed. In this experiment, we pass a single particle, say an electron, through two slits, and behind these two slits there is a screen. After passing through either slit, electron fall on the screen and create strips. Please listen very carefully. When we observe either of the path, electrons falling on the screen creates two strips. And very strangely, when we do not observe either of the path, electrons falling on the screen creates several strips. Science has explained that when we do not observe, every electron passes through both the slits simultaneously, behave as a wave, and create the interference pattern on the screen, and the result is several steps. So, electron behave like a particle when it is observed, and it behaves like a wave when it is not observed. This was the beginning of the quantum physics, which is totally different from the Newtonian physics. Quantum physics is the study of the behavior of smallest particles. We know everything is made up of atoms. But now science has discovered that there are smaller particles and the atom is not the fundamental. These smaller particles have been broadly divided into two categories. One is leptons and another is quarks. There are 6 types of lepton and electron is one of them. Similarly, there are 6 types of quarks such as up quark and down quark, which make proton and neutron. So now we have 12 basic particles and 4 forces, and these 4 forces are gravitation force, electromagnetic force, strong nuclear force and weak nuclear force. So the quantum field is composed of these 16 fields, 12 matter field and 4 field of natural forces. They interact in interesting and most complicated ways, creating the reality, creating the universe, creating everything in the universe, including you and me. These fields continuously interact, interlock each other, sways, moves this way, that way, creating the everything in this universe. When one of the matter field, say electron field, wave up and down, it may kick off other field, say electromagnetic field, which in turn may oscillate and create ripples and start interacting with quark field. This way, all these 16 fields are continuously interacting, interlocking and swaying, moving this way, that way, creating everything in the universe. Objects in the quantum field have 3 basic qualities. One is non-locality. An electron can be at more than 2 places at the same time. Second is indeterminism. It is impossible to know exactly the position and momentum of particle. If we know the momentum of a particle, we cannot know its position, and in case we know its location, then its momentum is not known. And third is entanglement. 2 particles can share information or communicate instantaneously without passing through time and space. What it means? If one electron is here and another electron is at the other galaxy, both can communicate, share information instantaneously without influencing the time and space. So in the quantum field, everything is interconnected, interrelated, interacting and influencing every other thing. And nothing is independent at a deeper level. Further, there is something which is not in time and space, which is beyond time and space, and that something may be the ground of our quantum field. So the advancement in the quantum physics has compelled science to acknowledge the role of consciousness in creation of the reality we live in. Coming back to the main question, what the consciousness is. Consciousness is a field similar to the quantum field, but it is not in time and space, it is beyond time and space, where all the contents of human psychology, such as love, hate, greed, fear, desires, urges, grudges, tendencies continue to exist, interacting swaying, moving this way, that way, creating my psychological world as per conditioning of my mind, and your psychological world as per conditioning of your mind. Everything is in flux, both in quantum field as well as in the field of consciousness. My atoms are changing, my cells are changing, my thoughts are changing, my emotions are changing, my psyche is changing, and in fact, everything is changing. Love is fleeting, beauty is fleeting, feelings are fleeting in the individual mind and in the whole field of consciousness. Observer and observed both are constantly changing at the deeper level. All the events are happening in this field of consciousness, interacting, interrelated, interconnected, influencing all the other events. And we, all the human beings, are continuously broadcasting our beliefs, our thoughts, our emotions in this field of consciousness. Past is related to the present, and present is related to the future. In deeper reality, we are part of the every event that is happening now, had ever happened, or will ever happen. So my consciousness is not different from your consciousness, but we all share the same one consciousness, which people call global consciousness or universal consciousness or cosmic consciousness or even quantum consciousness. We have separate body as per our DNA. We have individual mind as per our conditioning or life experiences, but we share the same consciousness. So, to conclude, consciousness is a field, it is a shared field, like electromagnetic field or gravitational field or quantum field. Most of our religions are based on the misconception of individual consciousness, which they call Atman or soul. So, in the next video, I am going to discuss the concept of soul. If you have any question or comments, please post in the comment box. I will be happy to respond. If you like the video, you can subscribe